So let's jump right into the requirements and expectations of being an advisor. I can speak on this transparently because Miss Asha and myself just did this over the last year. I also was a youth that was in the West the Los Angeles youth group. So I had one of the best youth advisors. I'm always going to say that Lady Wilson was our youth advisor. I love her so much until this day. She's definitely a part of the reason why I am who I am. So it's really, and she was such an amazing leader, and it's important that if you're taking on a leadership position where you have these youthful eyes that are going to be looking at you to lead and for advice, that you want to have these characteristics or be working towards them and mindful of them. Of course, none of us are perfect, but we do want to be great examples for these youth so that we are leading them in the right direction. So you want to have strong leadership skills. That is, I mean, if you're going to lead a group, if you're going to be a youth leader, a leader of any sort, you want to have strong leadership skills. The ability to inspire and motivate youth is a big one. It's really difficult to have people follow you, or to get people to follow you, if you don't know how to be a leader. I mean, you can lose a group very easily or not gain their trust or buy-in if you're not good with inspiring and motivating people. And to some degree, that is a learned skill. It's not something like, we have some youth advisors that are very, very young, but they're still motivating. They're still impactful, and they're are leaders even at 18, 19, 20 years old. There's videos you can watch. There's books that you can read. If this is something that you want to do, it's absolutely something that you can learn how to do. Demonstrate integrity and accountability. That does not have to be a learned behavior. That can just be something you wake up and choose to do every day. Today I'm going to have integrity, and today I'm going to be accountable. And you can actually just do that every single day. And while being around these youth, these kids, you're going to have to do that. They're going to expect you to be the accountable party. If things fall apart, if the events don't go right, if something is not, you are the accountable party, not them. You are leading the pack. Demonstrating integrity, you want them to have integrity, so you have to have integrity. You want to be able to effectively communicate. If you have a hard time communicating, it's going to be hard to hold their attention. So you want to have excellent verbal and written communication skills. Now, that's also something that can be learned over time, but to a degree, you want to be able to at least effectively communicate. And as you are, what I've noticed is, as you're put in a position where you're leading other people, because of what's required of you, you'll naturally get better at that. But you want to at least start off with being able to effectively communicate. The ability to convey ideas clearly and listen actively. When you are with this group, they are going to talk a lot. They're going to have a lot of opinions. They're going to have things that they want. I mean, this is their group. You're really just there to facilitate be a, an adult in the room, a fly on the wall sometimes, and let them lead the pack while you're actively listening so that you can point them in the right direction. And then when you hear something and you have input and you have direction for them, being able to convey those ideas clearly is important. You want to be punctual and reliable because you want them to be punctual and reliable. Punctuality is very important. If you're going to expect them to be on time, you got to be on time. If you want them to show up to events and meetings and things you guys are doing 15 minutes early, that means you have to show up 15, 30 minutes early. Like, you are going to set the stage and the example. So consistently being on time for meetings and events, and being dependable and trustworthy. If you say you're bringing the packet of papers or the book, if you say you're bringing the snacks or whatever you're doing, I mean, you want them to bring the waters, then you can't forget yours and expect them to bring theirs. You have to set the standard. You want to be empathetic and understanding. Empathy is a really good quality in any leader. Being sensitive to the diverse backgrounds and experience of the youth that you're going to be working with, having the ability to provide emotional support and guidance. Those are very important. We're working with anybody really, but in particular, our youth. With the youth, you will need to be patient. I'm gonna stop. You will need to be patient. They are still young people. Their opinions are not always like ours, and that is okay. It's actually a good thing that their parent opinions are not like ours. They're thinking differently, and we need them to think differently. So you need to have the ability to handle challenges calmly and constructively. So if somebody, you have to, and I will send you some videos on this. I'll put some additional in this particular training. I will put some additional videos in here that help you handle conflict resolution, and some tactics and skills that you can use. But you got to approach it calm, because if you elevate, they're going to elevate. They're not babies. They're not. So if you want to keep things calm, you have to make sure, so that they can keep things calm. You're going to lead by example, and then you're going to know how to ask the right questions and lead the conversation in the right direction to keep the criticism constructive. The willingness to work through difficulties with youth. So you cannot just be like, you upset me, I'm done, forget it, and walk away. If you have that mentality, then this isn't for you. You have to actually want to be flexible and help them and have the patience to be able to do it, and understand that you having the patience is going to teach them how to have the patience. You have to be a little bit creative and innovative. Now, to some degree, some people are not creative, some people are not innovative. The good news is you will have some youth in your group that are, and as long as you know how to cultivate that, and push that out of them, and just be there for that, and allow them to, the space to be safe for them to be creative and innovative, you will find that you start to become more creative and innovative if you're not. And there are some apps that you can use that help you become. I mean, you really there's so much technology out there now. If you're planning an event or planning something and it requires some creativity, there are 6 different apps that you could use that could be creative for you. There is the easiest and simple and the oldest one, Pinterest. You type in something, it will give you some ideas. So if your group is having trouble, point them toward the direction of technology. It'll help you guys figure it out together. And then you want to be open to new ideas and new approaches. They do things differently. They have a different approach, and that is okay. We need that. We need our leaders to be able to think critically and analytically about the approach that they want to take. So just be happy that they're innovative and they're creative, and allow that in that space. Allow them to make those type of decisions and push the conversation forward the way that they see fit, creatively. So also, you want to be flexible. Um, I can't say changes are going to happen, circumstances are going to pop up, boundaries, barriers, things are just, they're going to happen. You have to be adaptable to change. I can tell you stories forever about with the summer program, how we weren't getting any communication. Then out of nowhere one day, I had to leave the movies right away to get some of the youth signed up and make sure that they could participate that next day. Like, you got to be flexible. And if we're really in it for them, if we are really, really in it for them, we're going to, whether we got to start a week late, we got to start a week early, we got to make change by the day, whatever it is, we have to be flexible for them. When things don't go our way, we can't just say, forget it, I don't have time for this. If you don't have time to be flexible for our future, for our youth who are our future, then this would not be the position for you. The willingness to learn and to teach new skills. Being flexible means that you may not know something, and you have to know how to go get the information so that you can, or go get the person that has the information so that you can still impart that wisdom on them. Just because we don't know everything doesn't mean that we can't give them that information. So we also have to be willing to learn in this process. Organizational skills are important to a degree. I'm here to help with that. Like I said, my kids are actually in the group, and then I'm gonna have kids in the group all around the valley. So I particularly cannot sit in the room with them while they want to talk about all the things that they want to talk about. But in the business sector, in the corporate world, this is my skill set. I am heavy on organizational skills. So my goal with you is, if you are not heavy on the organizational skills, on the admin level of things, on the creating of documents, websites, spreadsheets, PowerPoints, whatever those things are that we need to move forward, get with me. Let me do that. Let me do that with you. Let me help make this the best that it can possibly be. You don't have to take my help, but it is here any and all the time that you need it. So, and as you, what you'll find is that with us working together and in this partnership, if you were not organized before, you will become more organized along the way, because that's I may not be a million other things, but that's the one thing that I do bring to the table and that I can help with. And then I do have a good attention to detail and follow through. So I'm looking for people that are on the beginning cusp of that, that are wanting to have that great attention to detail, follow through, wanting to be more organized, or that are already that because you are in front of a group, their eyes are on you, they want to see. Organization is what brings people to the table. When a group is organized and active and doing things, people are like, I want to be a part of that. They looked uniform, they all look together, they look cohesive, they are out here doing great things. I want to be a part of that. So organization is a part of the look, it's a part of the ensemble. So it's one of the reasons why this group has grown the way that it has, because it looks organized. And that's not just attractive to the youth. It's attractive to parents. Parents are like, oh, this is organized. It looks good. Let me put my kids in it. So it's really important that we are united and organized front. Conflict resolution skills, you want to have that. I'll include some videos on that for you. Not everybody knows how to do that, but it is absolutely something that you can learn. You just will have to have the ability to want to learn it. You want to be a role model. I tell my kids all the time, I don't do anything that I wouldn't want to tell you about. If I did it, I have no problem telling everybody about it, because I want to be a role model, and I don't want to do or say anything that I couldn't say again. So I know that's an extreme degree, but I'm a mom, so it has to be to that level of extreme degree for me. But for you as a role model, just know that what you do is visible. What you do on social media, what you post on social media, who they see you with, what organizations you affiliate with, where you are out, where you're not out. I mean, all of that is, you're being looked at, and there's nothing wrong with that, because if you're a leader, it doesn't matter where you are, whether you are at the gala, at the fundraising event, at the volunteer event, or out at the party with friends. Whether if you're a leader, and you always represent yourself well wherever you are. So, with that, you want to make sure that you are demonstrating the values of a person that is a part of the NAACP. If you're a part of the NAACP, we have certain values, we have a mission, we are seen a little differently in the community. We are seen as thought leaders, as freedom fighters, as civically engaged individuals that care about the progress of all people. So you want to make sure that your attitude, your demeanor, your walk, your feel, how you take up space is reflective of that. So I know that's a lot, and that sounds like a lot to ask, but for those of you that are watching this video, that all of that resonated with you, and who you are now or who you're working to be, you're in the right place. This is for you. You need to be in front of our youth, leading our youth. I want to give you some proper expectations as well. I tell people all the time, that I'm an expectation setter by trade. It's what I've been doing my whole life. I've learned that from parenting, and I want to make sure you understand what you're getting into. It's a lot of fun, but it is work, and I don't want to sugarcoat that. I don't want to put that off. It is work. So it is. You're going to get diverse perspectives. You're going to get young 12, 13, 14-year olds, and you're going to have 18, 19, 20-year olds, and you're going to get diverse perspective from those groups. You're going to have different shades of people of color, and non-people of color, and you're going to get diverse perspectives. You're going to get parents that have diverse perspectives. You have to be willing and prepared to engage with people from all different backgrounds and viewpoints. Your viewpoint is not the only viewpoint. What we think is not always right, and the best ideas, the best situations, the best environments come out of diverse perspectives. So be willing and open to other people's perspectives, especially because this is the youth's group. This is their group. This is not our group, and they're not going to think like we are. Challenges with engagement. You're going to have some kids that their parents just dropped them off, and they are not as engaged, and that's okay. There are some things that you can do to get them engaged, and I have some videos in this training in particular that you'll be able to watch and utilize throughout the year that will help you keep people engaged. One of those, and it's the example I love using, 1 through 10. If you're talking and not many people are answering, you can throw out a question really quick and say 1 through 10, how do you feel about this? That question, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but it resonates with youth. And they're like, okay, 1 through 10, I think it's a six. You'll get them to talk, you'll get them to engage. And then there also is a list of discussion questions in your space that will help you better engage with them, that the questions that pertain to them. And what we did all the time throughout the year is we took a vote. We let them decide what they wanted to discuss through the year. So here's 100 questions. Pick your top 20. What do you absolutely want to cover and talk about this year? And then we'll make sure we put it in the curriculum for you. They should be deciding what they want to discuss, what they want to do, and how they want to show up in the community. Remember, we just lead that. So you're going to have some challenges with engagement, but there's a lot of different ways to bring that out on them. Randomly calling on people, scale of 1 through 10. There's a couple different things that will show you. Emotional and social support needs. You're going to get some youth that has personal issues that you have to deal with. That is okay. That's life, right? So as mothers, brothers, sisters, cousins, aunties, uncles, there's all of these different hats we wear as coworkers. Are just who we are in life in general. People are going to have issues, and we have to know how to show up for those issues. Time commitment. This is a job. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is a job. It's a job that you're gonna do for a couple hours once or twice a month. But the mental commitment is always there. The phone call from the youth that they need something. After the meeting, someone needing help with something. The trips that you guys are going to take together. These time you're going to work with them in the summer. Like there is a time commitment that's there. So you have to be open to that, and you have to know that you're going to receive the mental, physical reward on the other side. Our goal is to be the kind of person that we can be proud of in the future, and then to give our youth as much as we can a life that they don't have to try to heal from later. So if we're doing both of those things, trust me, we'll look back later and be very, very proud of ourselves. So get ready for the time commitment. A few hours, a couple times a month, sometimes once a month, and then on trips, a whole lot more. But the mental commitment and availability will always be there. The need for continuous learning, you have to be willing to do that. None of us know everything. I'm learning every single day. I call myself a forever learner. You want to be a forever learner, because you have to learn new things so that we can teach it to them. We can't just teach them what we know, because that's not enough. That's not how we close all those generational gaps. That's not how we break all of those generational curses. We have to learn more and be better. And even if we don't implement it for ourselves, exposing them to the knowledge and the education will surely over time close a lot of those gaps, and dissolve a lot of those generational curses. So collaborative effort. It was said to me once that the NAACP is like, they like to be the highlight of everything. They want to be the only name on the ticket. Wrong. Nope, we are partnering with everybody. 100 black men, 100 black women, the Urban League, Greater Phoenix Urban League, Books and Barbershops, the Civics Foundation, any group. All of the Divine Nine, everybody, whoever you are, wherever you are, we partner with you. You partner us. We are brothers and sisters in the fight. We can't do this individually. There's so many of us, and if we're all, consolidated to all these little smaller organizations, then we don't come together. The moment we all start working together on everything, and there's 1,000 names on the ticket, that's when we become a force to be reckoned with, which is what we're watching happen politically right now at this moment. We are watching everybody, every organization, every group come together, and that needs to be a thing that happens moving forward in the future. That needs to be our way of life. So you're going to work closely with advisors. You're going to work closely with parents. You're going to work closely with community members, and you're going to work closely with other organizations to create and spearhead programs that we can only imagine at this moment. But when we get collaborative efforts from other groups, we can do it. Event planning execution. This is another skill set that if you don't have, it's okay. I have plenty of resources. The NAACP has plenty of resources. We will do this together. You are not in this alone. You have all the support in the world. We will figure it out. And then a mentorship role. You should be expected to be considering yourself a mentor from this moment moving forward. That's who you are. That's your role. That's what you do. So you're going to serve as a mentor and guide the youth and help them grow and develop. So let's move on to the next training video. This is your requirements and expectations. If you have any questions, if you feel like there should be some other additional things that we need to add to this, let me know. But from my experience last year, these are the requirements and expectations.